All right. Unexpected pleasure this weekend. Deontay Wilder and Andy Ruiz meet up on Fox TV. All four of the major championship belts sitting at the same table at the same time. That fight is the fight that needs to happen, not a Dillian White fight, not an Anthony Joshua fight. That's what needs to pop off, and that's what we're going to talk about in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. Also, thank you so much to the Patreons that support the channel. You guys, you guys are rock stars out there. Also, thank you to everybody in the live streams that we do that supports through the Cash App and through the super chats, and everybody that leaves comments in the live streams that we do Monday through Friday in the early afternoon, and also on Sunday, OG Boxing Talk. Let's get into this. We're talking about Deontay Wilder and Andy Ruiz, the heavyweight division, sitting during watching the Manny Pacquiao fight with Keith Thurman, or it might have been a little bit before that. It might have been in the Caleb Plant, the Mike Lee fight, which was in the same auditorium, but on the pay-per-view event, the non-pay-per-view side. We got to see Deontay Wilder and Andy Ruiz together. They held, and just looking at it on the TV screen, I realized, and I mean, it's not an incredible realization, but it was nice to see all of the major championship belts sitting at one table. And after having watched Dillian White fight Oscar Rivas, I thought to myself, wow. Why is half of the boxing world talking about the heavyweight division, but not talking about what would be the immediate cure to what ails the heavyweight division, which is a fight between Deontay Wilder and Andy Ruiz right now, not later, not next year, not the year after next, not if Deontay Wilder gets past Luis Ortiz and gets past and gets past Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Oh, and then after that he's supposed to fight Dillian White and Anthony Joshua. Is he going to take the fight with Andy Ruiz? Whether that is the rematch going to be in the UK or is it going to be in New York? All of that stuff. When you got all the belts sitting right there. See, that's when you know that there's something that's further proof that lets you further know that there's something wrong with boxing. These guys are right there. Anthony Joshua lost. Right now, we can look back and say, look at the contract. But for 9, he's got a rematch clause. Andy Ruiz has to keep his promise. He's got to live up to that. He's got to live up to that promise. He signed up for it when he got the chance. AJ picked him. All the stuff that Eddie Hearn talks about, right? Then you got Deontay Wilder. You could say, now I'm not ever heard this out of Deontay Wilder, but Deontay Wilder people could say, though I've never heard him do it, say, well, no, Luis Ortiz, we need Luis Ortiz before we get a Deontay Wilder Andy Ruiz fight. I haven't heard it, but if they said it, I would say the same thing applies to that argument. This is the fight that needs to happen. Andy Ruiz, Deontay Wilder for boxing, not for what's good for Eddie Hearn or what's good for Bomb Squad Promotions. What's good for boxing? And what's good for boxing is a unified heavyweight champion, and this is a very small window of opportunity that we would have to get it. I personally believe, and I believe so because of the actions of Eddie Hearn, that if Andy Ruiz were to lose to Anthony Joshua, all possibility of a unified championship hinges on one thing: Dillian White beating Deontay Wilder. If Dillian White beat Deontay Wilder, then you would have a unified, then you could have a unified heavyweight championship fight between Dillian White and Anthony Joshua. But seeing as that ain't about to happen because Dillian White's not very good, He says, I'm still learning, right? After Oscar Rivas puts him on the deck again, after he displays his lazy, slow jabs, his lack of physical conditioning, his lack of a chin, and his almost utter lack of a potential to go 8 rounds with Deontay Wilder. People keep talking about this Dillian Whyte fight like it's like we owe it to Dillian Whyte. Look at what Dillian Whyte has done. Dillian Whyte deserves this shot because Dillian Whyte has been the #1 rated guy in the WBC for 600 days. What a travesty. What a travesty. All of that stuff. That's a bunch of nonsense. We're in boxing to see we're watching boxing as boxing fans, or at least I am, to see who the best guy in the weight class is. What Anthony Joshua's contractual relationship and obligations are with Andy Ruiz is a secondary consideration, secondary to or tertiary to who is the best heavyweight in the world. And the only way that you know this is by fighting one another. Andy Ruiz already beat Anthony Joshua. We saw that. Tyson Fury fought Deontay Wilder. It was a draw. He did not beat Deontay Wilder. So you're out of it. Luis Ortiz, he did not beat Deontay Wilder. So he could be out of it. Dillian Whyte, who cares? When you have Andy Ruiz and Deontay Wilder right there, that could happen, and it could happen next year. It could happen this year. That's a fight that could pop off in November. If people truly wanted what was best for boxing, if my friends in the UK really wanted what was best for boxing, let Anthony Joshua sit down, let his head clear, let him decide what coach he really wants, right? Let him get bright enough to go to Vegas with the Puerto Rican trainer, I think it was Salinas, that was rumored that he was talking to. Let him let his try to de-muscle a little bit, get all that water out of his muscles that makes him get tired so fast. And then after Deontay Wilder and Andy Ruiz fight and we got a unified champion, that's just one step away for Anthony Joshua to get that shot. He might be able to get it that way. But this trying to support Eddie Hearn for the heck of whatever Eddie Hearn wants to do, all the way to the point where we're having these consistent conversations about Dillian Whyte seriously being a heavyweight, somebody that deserves a heavyweight title shot, while we're looking at a fight that the fight fans deserve. I'm more interested in, what do the fight fans deserve? The fight fans have not had a unified, undisputed heavyweight champion since Lennox Lewis. Why should we have to wait and hold off to make Eddie Hearn happy? Because that's all that's doing. The Dillian Whyte fight makes Eddie Hearn and Matchroom and DAZN happy, because they're going to try to bid and get Deontay Wilder over to DAZN. The Anthony Joshua rematch with Andy Ruiz, dude, that makes Eddie Hearn happy. I don't even think it makes Anthony Joshua happy, because I don't think Anthony Joshua wants it right now. And I bet you, if you ask this father, or if you ask somebody who was close to him, or you ask people like George Foreman, or you ask Mike Tyson, or you ask these other people, look, man, don't get back in the ring with that dude that soon. You just got beat up, dropped 4 times, and you quit against the rope. I mean, God dog, we got people acting like Keith Thurman went 12 rounds, didn't quit, lost the fight, got one on the scorecard, and some of these people are acting like Keith Thurman got thumped and needs to go away, but Anthony Joshua didn't get thumped and need to go away. Look, when I saw Andy Ruiz and Deontay Wilder sitting there together, it became very, very obvious to me right then and there. That fight can happen. The only thing that is keeping that fight from happening is Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn should drop that rematch clause, or come up with some type of agreement where it's guaranteed that Anthony Joshua gets the winner of Deontay Wilder versus Andy Ruiz. I am positive that Deontay Wilder would accept that stipulation, would agree to that, and I guarantee you Andy Ruiz would agree to that. Let the real champions fight. Let Dillian Whyte sit on the side, wait his turn, because he ain't ready anyway. That's just waiting. He just waiting around to get knocked out. If you put Dillian in there, put Dillian in there with Alexander Usyk so we can see whether or not who's the top. Isn't Dillian Whyte already ranked high in the WBO? Let him go the WBO route, fight Alexander Usyk, get a good fight. Let's see if Alexander Usyk's a real heavyweight or if Dillian Whyte, and if Dillian Whyte can beat him. And then we move on. But all of this, holding stuff off until just to make Eddie Hearn and make Matchroom happy, similar to the way that I believe DAZN is doing with Canelo Alvarez, where Canelo Alvarez isn't going to take this September 14th date because DAZN says they don't like the opponents. They don't like Demetrius Andrade, a guy that fights on their own network fighting Canelo Alvarez, because Canelo Alvarez said he would fight Demetrius Andrade. But DAZN doesn't want the fight between Canelo Alvarez and Demetrius Andrade, which would combine 3 of the belts. I'm taking away that WBC from Canelo Alvarez because it got taken away. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section. Man, it was a great night of fighting on Saturday and Friday. Teofimo Lopez, Lil Green. But we'll talk about that in the live stream. Again, let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.